You ever seen a car so disastrous that even the manufacturer wished it had never been built? Today we're diving into the world of design disasters, engineering failures, and cars that probably should have stayed on paper. These are some of the worst cars ever made, from designs that look like someone glued multiple cars together, to vehicles that turn into a disaster at the slightest crash. Buckle up and get ready. Pontiac Aztek, 2001 to 2005. A truly bizarre and awkward design. It looked like a mix of multiple vehicles stuck together. Chief designer Tom Peters wanted to combine a sporty car with an SUV, saying, "Imagine putting a Camaro and a Blazer in a blender." The idea was, the sporty look and long nose of a Camaro plus the height and utility of a Blazer equals a new crossover. But when they had to build it on a minivan platform, like the Pontiac Montana, the proportions went completely wrong. The result? One of the ugliest cars ever made. The seats were only moderately comfortable, and the interior quality was below average for its price. Even the suspension and handling failed to deliver enjoyable driving. The Aztek became the embodiment of a design disaster, and while it appeared in Breaking Bad, it was remembered more as a symbol of failure than fame.
Since Breaking Bad happened, the prices have gone up because it's become a collector's item among Breaking Bad fans. But the car itself is terrible. It's essentially a little bit like the Honda Element of Pontiac, or at least Pontiac was trying to create something similar to the Honda Element, but it didn't work out. It's a really bad functioning car, very unreliable. It looks terrible. I don't think anybody in the world has ever said that this Pontiac Aztek was a great looking car.
Ford Pinto, 1971 to 1980. A dangerous design that made the gas tank prone to explosion in rear-end collisions. With a small engine and low power, it had poor acceleration. Safety issues made the Pinto one of the most notorious cars in history. Rumor has it that Ford calculated it was cheaper to pay for lawsuits than to fix the design. It was okay for short trips, but in serious crashes, it was far from safe. Yugo GV, 1985 to 1992. One of the cheapest cars sold in the US, quickly mocked for low quality, constant breakdowns, and poor safety. It had a weak engine, unreliable brakes, and short-lived parts. Some parts even fell off while driving. Its appearance was more like a cart than a car. Though cheap and fuel-efficient, the Yugo became infamous for its frequent malfunctions. Cadillac Cimarron, 1982 to 1988. Essentially a rebadged Chevrolet Cavalier sold at Cadillac prices, it was neither luxurious nor worth buying. People called it Cavalier with a tie, or Cavalier with a Cadillac badge. It had a small engine, slow acceleration, and weak suspension. The interior comfort didn't match Cadillac standards, making it a classic example of a poor brand strategy and one of GM's economic blunders. AMC Gremlin, 1970 to 1978. Strange, awkward design, poor build quality, high fuel consumption, and a cramped cabin were its main downsides. A small engine and short body made it look odd and unbalanced. It was tricky to control at high speeds, and the tiny cabin limited passenger comfort. Its unusual look made it more of a joke than just a failure. People gave it funny nicknames like half car because the rear seemed chopped off.
And these are fake vents on the rear. There's no visor mirrors or air conditioning, and there never even was a radio. Heater isn't even called a heater. They called it the weather eye, whatever that meant. Oh, here you go. Rainwater rolls down the back and just collects inside the recessed taillights.
Chevrolet Vega, 1971 to 1977. Problems with the engine and body caused rapid rusting, mechanical failures, and short lifespan. Many cars didn't make it past 60,000 miles. The aluminum engine had cooling and oil leak issues, while the body rusted quickly and paint didn't last. Weak brakes and suspension turned it into another GM disaster.
The Vega seemed to have everything it needed to become a sales success. But reality told a different story. The Vega did not just fail. It became one of GM's most serious engineering blunders. From the engine to the body, from assembly quality to user experience, everything had problems.
7. Renault Dauphine, 1956 to 1967. One of the weakest cars ever. Low-powered engine, poor brakes, and terrible handling, especially on slippery roads, made it a moving hazard. Simple, unattractive design and cheap interior materials quickly turned buyers away. Time magazine listed it among the 50 worst cars of all time in 2007.
Look at this, oh my god, look at this bonnet, it's so... Well, I mean, it is lightweight, which is true. It is lightweight, which is true, but then at the same time, like, I see, those were the times when safety was not a big deal. You could build it whatever you want with whatever material and nobody would say anything.
Some joked you could hear it rusting as it drove. Chevrolet Chevette, 1976 to 1987. A small, cheap car with low power, minimal comfort, and poor build quality. Some said it felt like sitting in a tin can. Weak engine, cramped interior, and basic equipment made it more of a budget choice than a real value. Still, its low price made it a practical option for those on a tight budget. So there you have it. 8 of the worst cars in history. Of course, there are plenty more disasters out there. Now it's your turn. Which one do you think is the absolute worst car ever? Drop your answer in the comments. If you enjoyed this list, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.